Now, before you get all... Wait. There's that... Where'd it go? That thing that says subscribe was right here, just a moment ago. Okay. It's... Oh, it's outside the screen. That's where it's at. It says subscribe. You don't have to put all that private information. Put your email address and you get the details. Oh, but wait, maybe I'm not supposed to tell you that. Alright, well, we have this. I didn't even bother putting a handle on it. I will now. I'll put a handle on it. I'd also like to clean it up a little bit, take a little bump off the bottom, and things like that, just to style it out a little bit, just so it's prettier. Then I'll put it in my tool rack. Now the other one we used today was this. Take a look at that. That's one of Dave, a D-Way tool. Here, let's see if I can get this right. D-Way Tools. That's where you're going to get this at. He's got a couple of different sizes of them, and it's a beading tool. Now he's also got small gouges. What I got the kit over here? A parting tool, a bowl gouge, a couple of detail gouges. He's got a bunch of things. I'm looking for, here it is. That's his little 5/8 inch bowl gouge. Now that is one sweet little baby. Why? Because I don't like those big bowl gouges. I want something I can work, take off the bits and pieces in little bitty places and not get hang-ups. That's what this one's all about. This is his bowl gouge. See the shape on it? Very simple to grind on your grinder. Oh, speaking about your grinder, wait, subscribe. It's just here. Man, alright. Speaking about grinding and shaping tools, there's a lot of people out there promoting high-speed cutting wheels and some awesome stuff in the grinder market. But it's really all nice. Really is. I mean, you have to have your options. But here's the deal, boys and girls. If you're a beginning turner, you gotta ask yourself a couple of questions. Do I need it sharp? Yes, you need it sharp. Do I want to grind it away and have to buy a new one? No. I turn a lot of wood. I haven't in the last year, but I turn a lot of wood. I've only replaced my Ellsworth DPU bowl gouge twice in 12 years. Why? Because I ground it all the way down to the nub. But I've learned how to sharpen it since then, so I don't go crazy. Number one, I don't reshape the bowl every time, because I use my Black Hawk jig. When you set it in and you know what the setting is, and you come back to it time after time. Pretty simple. Should I deviate for a moment? I don't have any of those Black Hawk rigs. The target date from the doctor is Labor Day. Come Labor Day, they've taken a second set of scans, found out the big empty spot on the left-hand side of my head is empty. If it filled back up with crap, I got a problem. But at that point, I'll go back to making a Black Hawk rig. The base, the arm, the whole works. And it will go back on sale for a lot less than my competition has. A lot less. So, but I got to gear up to do that. Now, what was I talking about? When you sharpen, you want to set that rig up, and if you have to make a set of gauges, and I'll show you when we do this, to set it for you deep gouge, yeah. I do one setting for all my gouges. All of them are sharpened to the Ellsworth 247 program. That's it. All of them. They all work differently because of the way the shape the tip is. But I don't grind one that has a long back. Some of that you don't need. Really don't. If I got to stand there and say, I'll show you how to modify your tools, say, just show me how to do it the factory original. I'll get there the rest of the way by myself. Okay? But don't be throwing a lot of steel on the floor that you got to buy and replace. Doesn't get it. And we're talking about buying and replacing. I don't want you to get hung up on this. It's not buying and replacing. It's buying and giving him money. There's no replacing about it. It's a great idea. A lot of these people are my friends. And I tell them, You know, you probably got the Mercedes-Benz parked out front with the wood-turning license plate. That's okay. That's you and your conscience. I don't have one. I probably don't want one. But you can do most of your action with 3 or 4 tools. Just get good at those 4 tools. Now you do need a deep V bowl gouge. And that's going to be a 3/8 inch Ellsworth. Then you need a skew. It's going to be a 3/4 inch, and you don't want a radius, you don't want a bump, you don't want all this stuff. Pretty straight cut. Then you're going to need a parting tool. Now you can make your own parting tool out of hacksaw blade. I got a video on how to do that. And then whatever you need to fill in the gaps. Roughing gouge is a really good one. But you consider this, most of you guys and gals are getting into this to have a little instant gratification. I'm retired, I have a lathe, I went to a club, I drank 5 beers, I came home with all these pipe dreams. Now what do? Keep the pipe dreams. But still don't believe a guy that tells you he's got that little bitty box and he gets $80 for it at the craft fairs. Who's paying them that? And why are they still running around? Let me ask you something. Is this guy with those little boxes promoting craziness? It could be. Not a good place to be. But if you get into this looking for money, you're in the wrong business at the wrong time. There's too many of us out there just like you, and we're not in it for the money. We're in it for the immediate gratification. Instantaneous, overwhelming by giving away your gifts, your work. And that's what you need to do. You turn something, if it's really cool, really unique, you put it on a shelf in a room, you put a little card next to it, and when your friends ask about it, say, I'll make one sort of like that just for you. Why did I say sort of like that? Because you don't want to say it's going to be exactly. God didn't make too many trees that look exactly all the time. I mean, it'd be a pretty boring world if he did. So, you're going to go get a similar piece of wood with spalting or color or acco or whatever, and give him one, and he can be sure that he's got the only one like that. Now, he could go to the farmer's market and they got a whole rack of monkey pod pens and they're dyed different colors. Think about what he's got and what he's paying for it. You really don't want to go there. So, do him something unique, make him appreciate it, and then you're all right. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to tell you. I'm telling you all about this grinding thing and how not to throw your shavings on the floor, your grindings on the floor and have to replace them. Hey, you should check out the newsletter. All right. I did a newsletter once a month for maybe 6 or 8 months, 10 months. And I was doing it on a Windows 8. Yes, I am that stupid. Yes. And I still have that Windows 8 sitting on my desk. Just to remind me that you can buy something that a salesman tell you is the best going, and when you get it, you're going to get home, and you're going to have a few hiccups, and you have bumps, and you can't do this, can't do that. So I gave it up. I gave it up. I went right back to where I belong. I'm in a Mac world. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I took a class at Mac, and a guy was explaining to me how to use photographs. Because, for goodness gracious, I had a brain tumor. They didn't take the brain out. They just, I don't know what they did. Do you know what they did? All right. But I lost my finesse, my talent for turning things out in my Mac world. So I signed up and I go back for classes. About once every other week I take a class over at the Apple Center. Boy, did they teach you some stuff. Whoa-wee! And they make it look like, what's the matter with you? You don't know how to do that? Yeah, I don't know how to do that. That's what's the matter with me. So help me out a little bit. They did. The guy says, open that one right there and we'll do a newsletter. I said, a what? He said, a newsletter. He wasn't kidding. Pages, tool, bloop. And there's a whole list of them, bloop. And there's one with color, and he says, that's what you're going to use for your base of your newsletter. Wait a minute. When I was in a DOS-based unit, that wasn't available and it didn't work right. He says, yeah, but you're not in a DOS-based unit. You're in a Mac. So we played with it that day. Then I came home the next day and I started putting the newsletter back together. It's only going to be 5 or 6 pages this month. I got pictures of a guy you got to see. Bob Newsom, I believe it is. He sent me a picture of a couple of bowls he did. Bowls. Yeah, B-O-W-L-S. Bowls. Hey, I'm Cajun. It's hard to get these words out. Right, this bowl he did. He says, I'm doing these little pieces right now and I'm going to step up to something larger later. I don't want to see it when he cuts it later. God, the lights are going to dim in this part of the world. But he's a great guy. Bought some tools, shared a photograph. If you've got a photograph, it'll tell you right there in that newsletter what to do with it. And the newsletter, it will be available on the 2nd of September. Here's the deal. In order for you to get it and keep me safe, because I gotta be safe, can't be loosey-goosey-cruisy, I have to make a PDF out of it. So you get a smaller file, and you can save it on your computer, and you can always go back and get it, or you can just pick the pieces you want and print the pieces you want. This thing should be cool. Once I get all the hiccups out of it, it should be really cool. And I can do a little something each month. This month, I'm talking about how to replace your lathe. Not the lathe. No, I'm not going to tell you how to buy a 12-inch machine with all this extra swing and length. But if you don't know what to buy for a small machine, I'll help you out with that. The rest of the time, it's going to be your wallet, your bankroll, you're dealing with management, then you'll be all right. Just as long as you know, when you croak, she's going to sell it for dirt. She's going to let it go real cheap. So be honest with her in the beginning and tell her what it's worth and keep it up to date. You know, have the photographs and all in the package so she can sell it. I've gotten some great deals off that in the past. I mean, some really great deals. In fact, the one way I'm leaning against was sold by a guy. Johnny went and got it, loaded it up, brought it over here. We put it in the shop in 30 minutes. That was a heck of a deal. Alright, so what we've touched on today is I want you to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. It's right. Damn it. I know. You know, the problem with this is that little subscribe word that pops up right here. There it is again. It's what everybody should do. And then you keep track of what's happening here. And you get access to the 243 other videos that I've produced in the past. Other videos. Including with Bombi and yeah, we got that one on there too. Okay. So I told you about how to take that cutter, put it on that bar, and make a brand new cutter out of it. We talked about the newsletter just a minute ago. And that will be available on my website. Now, I'm going to mail a whole bunch of them to recent customers because I have those names. But I'm going to put them on the front page of my newsletter. Down at the bottom, it says newsletters. And we'll have September 1st, 1941. Oh, September 1st, 2015. That's a good date? Yeah, that'll work. Alright. And then you click on that and you go to it. That's where it'll always be. But you can download it from there and store it on your computer or your laptop or your pocket or whatever you have. And I think that, I reminded you that if you want to get involved with Freedom Bands, you drop me a note. Include your phone number because Sergeant Joe Kelly will call you and talk to you about it. See what you need and see what you do. Ah! Man, I'm talking to you and I can see it over here on the side. That little subscribe thing pops in. I don't know where it is on your computer, but I know where it's on mine. Playing safe. Alright, so we covered that. We get back together in October, we'll have a whole new game plan of items on the internet, which I've got a month now to work on. And between now and then, each week I will post a video, just like this one, this right here, this video, to show you tips, tricks, hints, ideas, and things like that. So why don't you do that? Join us for a whole lot of fun with wood turning. I get absolutely nothing. I don't have any advertisement in the newsletter. I don't, really? Advertisement in the newsletter. Never really thought about that. I'd have to consider that would make you sort of a silent partner. Can you keep your mouth shut? You know, if I do that, would you tell others? I don't want you to. But just in case there's something in there Yeah, that's all I'm looking for. Yeah, we're okay, right? We're okay. So we'll do all that each month right here on Making Shavings. I'm Captain Eddie Castellan. You be good, you take care, and hey! There it is. Go to that subscribe standard and lock in. Right? You take care, be good. Ha! Gotcha. Where'd you go? You were here a minute ago. What is one thing about those moving figures? Can't keep track of them.